Would you like to know how I got to spend a week here completely for free and how you can do the same? If you would, then keep watching. I'm gonna go inside to talk to you more about it because I am getting rained on. I thought that might get your attention. Let me briefly talk you through what Worldpackers is. It's an online platform that matches volunteers with projects seeking volunteers all over the world. And when I say all over the world, I mean it, because they currently have projects in 140 countries and there are more than 5,000 projects in total. So it doesn't matter how picky you are, you're quite likely to find something you like. Now, this year I was limiting myself to projects in the UK because I didn't feel ready to travel internationally with everything that's happening with COVID. And as it turns out, there are tons in the UK. Now, in bigger cities, because of higher demand, sometimes the time commitments required are a little bit higher, from 2 to say 4 weeks. Eventually, I found several that were fine with me coming just for a week. And the one I chose is, of course, the one here in the Highlands, as I already mentioned. I am recording this in my lovely, lovely private room that I have been guaranteed in exchange for my work. And the work that you do through Worldpackers varies quite a lot. Personally, I helped out by working as a waitress. I did the breakfast service where I served the guests, I took the orders, and then I helped tidy everything, I helped set the tables, and later on I did the check-ins at reception. All of it was very well explained by the host because it's stuff that I'd never done before, and I actually really enjoyed it. I'd never worked as a waitress before, and I have mad respect for people that do, but I did enjoy it for this limited time period. It was really lovely meeting the guests. So even the work for me personally was really enjoyable. But this is just one aspect of what you can do through Worldpackers. There are a lot of places that want people to help with farming and gardening and animal care, which sounds really exciting. That might be something I look into next time. There's also places that want help with their websites and SEO, photography, video services. So it is a really broad spectrum of what you can do. There are no prerequisites in terms of skills you have to be able to volunteer through Worldpackers. The only requirement is that you're above the age of 18. Other than that, there is no maximum age. You are all good to go if you're interested. Now let me give you a brief overview of what the past week has looked like for me, my first ever Worldpackers experience. And by the way, this isn't just my last day here. This is literally my last hour. I thought I'd wait till I finished the entire experience and processed it all to give you my feedback. So yeah, this is pretty fresh and I am very, very sad to be leaving, genuinely. So when I first got here, the first 2 days I wasn't asked to work at all, and then on the third day I was working at breakfast. So I woke up fairly early to help out with the guests, and then I did check-ins, and that's how I spent some of my day, but then I still had the entire evening to myself and I went for another walk. And then the next day I just did breakfast and then I was free. That was my work week. I ended up doing some really incredible stuff. I went swimming in the river nearby. That was an amazing experience. I walked the West Highland Way. That was an absolutely incredible hike. It was about 15 miles. So a bit of a workout. I'm pretty tired today because I did that yesterday. And by the way, I am making a whole separate video about Kinlochleven, the town that I've been staying in, and that West Highland Way hike. So if you'd like to check that out, you should subscribe because I will be putting that video up after I've posted this one. Now let me quickly explain how Worldpackers works in practical terms. You can browse the website without a membership, but if you want to apply for these opportunities, you do need to buy one. I do have a discount link right here, and I've also left it in the description below, which gets you 10% off. And I have to say, the membership is extremely inexpensive, especially considering what you get through it, which, as I mentioned, is 5,000 projects all over the world. There are so many here in the UK. I also looked at Spain and Portugal because I was considering doing a little trip. There is a huge concentration of projects in South America because Worldpackers is a Brazilian company, but really doesn't matter where you're going, you are almost guaranteed to find something that should be of interest to you. Now, once you get your membership and you identify some projects that sound interesting to you, you just start applying. You can apply to as many projects as you'd like, and once you've agreed with the host, you just accept it on the website, and then you are ready to go. Every single project has slightly different requirements in terms of what they're looking for and what they're offering. Now, one thing that is always guaranteed is accommodation. I got this lovely huge private room with a bathroom and a kitchen and a living room, which is a pretty sweet deal. Some other places might be offering shared accommodation or camping in tents. It really depends on the host, and all of this will be communicated to you before you get there. So that is all good, you're in safe hands. Another thing that might be provided is food, and some places you will get breakfast, lunch, even dinner. I had a kitchen where I cooked for myself, but Louis, the host, actually invited me to make fish tacos with him in the hotel kitchen after we discovered our shared love of Mexican food. I can't overstate how safe and welcome I felt during my whole stay, and if you're a solo female traveler like me and are apprehensive, I can confidently say, don't be. Not just because the hosts are great and thoroughly vetted, which they are, but also because of the Worldpackers insurance. If something doesn't go as agreed, you can get help from their support team to find a new host. You can also get reimbursed for up to 3 nights in a shared hostel dorm if you don't feel safe at your stay. Not that that's likely to happen. You do have a review section on the website where past volunteers are able to leave feedback, which is how I felt really confident coming here, because there were so many 5-star glowing reviews, so I was like, well, what the hell, this should be fun. If you're interested in volunteering here in Kinlochleven specifically, I am leaving all the information down in the description box, and yeah, I definitely thoroughly recommend this project. The only thing to bear in mind is that it is a tiny bit remote. Coming here from London was not super easy, but also not as difficult as I guess I'd imagined in my head before making the journey. So you need to first get to either Glasgow or Edinburgh, and from either of those cities you can take a bus that takes about 5 hours. It's a CityLink bus, so a local Scottish bus, and that will get you to a place called Glencoe, and then from Glencoe you can take a short route bus called the N44 to Kinlochleven, and that takes like less than half an hour. So yes, it is a bit of a long journey if you do live in London, but overall, is it worth it? Absolutely. It's more than worth it. Like, let me just quickly flip this around and show you the view from my room. Yep. Now, I was feeling a little nosy earlier, and so I asked my contact at Worldpackers about how many people had made applications this year in the UK, because I figured, well, it's the pandemic. Is it weird that I'm applying right now? You know, I was just having all these questions coursing through my head. And the number that she got back to me with, I thought was really high. The number of applications made to UK hosts through the platform this year, 2021, is 789. And yeah, I was very impressed by that number. So it's really nice to see that people are still taking advantage of these projects internally within the countries that they reside in. Everything in terms of COVID precautions and stuff like that was very well handled, and I mean, I just had the best time. One other really cool feature I want to mention is the Worldpackers Academy. They offer a series of short courses through their website that teach you how to make the most use out of the platform, but also generally on how to travel the world and spend as little money as possible. And as I was going through these, I just kept thinking, I really wish I'd known about Worldpackers earlier. You know, when I was a bit younger and traveling the world and genuinely had so little money to devote to it, because not only does Worldpackers help you cut down on your spending by essentially offering free accommodation wherever you go in exchange for a little bit of help, it also enables you to meet locals, because they're usually the owners of the places or the services or the hotels that you are working for, so you are already embedding yourself into the local community. And number 3, you get to learn so many new skills. Like, I had never done waitressing before, I'd never worked in a hotel, and I loved the experience. I loved the ability to, you know, take off from my regular life for a week and learn something new, you know, try out a new path, something that I hadn't experienced before. So for me, those 3 benefits alone are not only well worth the membership fee, but like they're a bit mind-blowing. So yeah, quick recap before my bus gets here. Worldpackers is amazing. The membership discount code is in the description below and also right here. And you should just do it. You can travel the world for free. This is mind-blowing. The only thing that isn't covered, by the way, is transport. You need to make your way to each place by yourself, but I would say that's a pretty small price to pay, especially if you're traveling slowly, you know, over a longer period of time across different regions. This is an incredibly invaluable resource. Yeah, if you guys have any questions whatsoever about Worldpackers and my experience here in the Scottish Highlands, then please do drop them below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Yeah, I mean, A, I'm speechless, and B, I really have to go. So I'm gonna grab this backpack. I really hope you enjoyed this review, and I will speak to you next Friday, which is when I put out new videos. Thanks for watching, and bye. So sad. Genuinely so sad. It's been fun.